22-year-old John Crawford III is the young black man who we covered the previous Monday show, who was shot and killed inside a Walmart in Beaver Creek, Ohio. It's a Dayton suburb, and he was basically shot and killed for holding a BB gun that Walmart sells. And he was killed on Tuesday, August 5th, 2014. And the video from inside Walmart, as of August 25th, 2014, has not been released. The police have not released it. But after, I believe, 100 people, ridiculous that even had to happen, but after 100 people demonstrated outside of the Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine's office calling for the release of the video, they allowed the family and the family's lawyer to view the video by their request. And their lawyer, the family's lawyer, Michael Wright, went on Roland Martin's podcast. And he said what he saw in the video. And he said exactly what I thought happened. But to see it confirmed doesn't make it any less harsh to hear. They were shown several minutes from the store surveillance video. And the video makes it clear that Crawford was minding his own business when police arrived at the store. One of the things I saw people talk about when we covered this, and when other outlets covered this story about John Crawford getting shot and killed by police inside Walmart, unarmed, was, he was holding the BB gun. He was flailing it around. It looked like a real gun. And then, at the very least, they were pulling the straw man out that it was out of its packaging. He was going to steal it. As if that mattered. As if even if he was going to steal it, the proper punishment is death. No. But that's not even what happened. He was walking through the aisles, saw it laying out. It was already out of its packaging. And he picked it up. And according to their lawyer from the video, by all means, it looks like he was holding it like any other item he was holding to purchase. At this point, we believe that he was purchasing the air gun. The model of the BB gun Crawford was holding, known as a variable air pump rifle, is designed for target shooting and small game hunting. It is designed to look real, but it cannot kill a person. It's for small game. Can't even kill a large animal. Right? The family's lawyer said that Crawford walked from one aisle to another while he was on his cell phone having a conversation, which we already knew previously. When he got shot, he was on the phone with his girlfriend. The police were called into the store. We've already talked about the two customers, their names, who I think are very important to keep into the story, because I don't see the media covering keeping these two people inside the story here, because I do think it's very relevant. Ronald and April Ritchie, who you'll recall, as I previously mentioned in the previous story, Ronald's a former Marine. April's his wife. She had a broken ankle riding a scooter following this man who they thought was carrying a gun. While they're on the phone with police, following this man. I want to read once again what they said to news and police in the initial report to the story of what happened. Ronald Ritchie. He looked like he was going to go violently. It looked like he was trying to get people's attention. He looked at people like he was saying, "Don't come near me." And why am I bringing that up? Because according to the Crawford family's lawyer, upon viewing the video, when the police came, the BB gun was in a down position. He was kind of using it, the BB gun, like a crutch, like a cane. He was leaning on it. At some point, he raised it up and he was shot and killed. At no point in time was he facing the officers. At no point in time was there any type of suggestive movements or anything like that. And that matches the story coming from people inside Walmart, where the police showed up, said, "Drop it." He was looking away from the police. So again, he doesn't know he's doing anything wrong. He's not actually holding a gun. He has no idea who's behind him at him yelling at him. He goes to turn around to see who it is, and he gets shot before he can even see that's the police. On Thursday, one of the two officers involved in the shooting was allowed to return to work. The other officer remains on administrative leave, and officials still have not detailed the role each officer played in the shooting. Again, the video has still not been released. I want to know if something can't be done about these police officers who automatically went in there ready to shoot someone, regardless of the fact that this person was unaware if they were doing anything wrong, wasn't armed. I want to know if something further will be done to take action against these two customers who clearly, at the very least, put police into a position where they thought they were walking into something that required this sort of response. I mean, definitely it's on them and they should be charged for showing up, seeing what they were dealing with, and not adjusting accordingly. But this guy was killed for doing nothing. For shopping in Walmart. For carrying an item that, for as far as we know, he had intended to purchase. An item that Walmart sells. And nothing's going to be done about it. I don't see the police getting indicted. I mean, one's already back in work. But the fact that Ronald and April Ritchie have been completely left out of the story at this point makes me believe that no one's even considering, possibly bringing up charges against them for without a doubt putting this poor man into a position where he was going to get shot. I want this story to continue to stay in the media. I want people to be held responsible for the death of John Crawford. And I think at the very least, Walmart should be doing something. Because they already said they're not going to change their policy. I mean, you have multiple people, multiple levels accountable here. Walmart, the police, these customers. And every single person involved is going to get away with it. If you were to call the police on your neighbor, if you were to call the police on anyone and tell them that this person's threatening to kill me or this person said he has a bomb, and the cops show up and a SWAT team shows up, there's a name for it when you do that. It's called you swatted someone. It's an actual thing that people do. And the police show up. The police are using resources here. Someone can be killed for doing nothing wrong, as happened in this case. And in those cases where someone shows up at someone's home or whatever, the person who calls the police search for that person. They look to hold that person accountable, at the very least wasting police resources. Nick Washington, where's the police report? You're talking about I assume you're talking about John Crawford. Yeah. I don't know if there's been if they're not going to release the video. Let's even look at it this way. I mean, we know police are going to use that video, or we know police use those type of videos to benefit them as much as possible. Correct, Michael?
Yeah.
Now, when they released the name of the police officer who shot Michael Brown, Darren Wilson, they released it the same time they released stills of Michael Brown allegedly stealing the cigars from that gas station. Now, in this case, the police don't even seem to have anything to smear John Crawford with. Because you gotta believe they would be putting that stuff out there by now. I want to see that tape released.
I do too. Needs to be.
Buggy, I think that couple should be charged with murder. Police accountable as accessories to the obvious hate crime. Nefertiti Quintessa, if Ronald was a former Marine, this is talking about one of the guy who called the police on John Crawford. If Ronald was a former Marine, wouldn't he know how a gun worked? Why would he think this kid was going to shoot anyone or was dangerous? Why was he following him to begin with? Weren't they afraid they would get shot if there was such a danger? And you know what? On top of that, they were apparently waving down families who were walking by John Crawford who didn't see anything wrong, they didn't see any danger in apparently this guy who was looking to go out violently and was looking at people as if he was trying to say, "Don't you dare stare at me." But apparently they had to wave these people down to tell them, "Hey, look, this guy's got a gun." Because they say themselves, families were just walking right by them and we had to tell them, "Watch out, watch out, watch out." Something is not right here.